is terms library, right? So the first thing I told you yesterday, right? We will see two different demos. One is a creation of a terms template. Means your template is nothing but a group of terms and conditions, and we will associate that particular template to your transaction documents. That is your purchase order, your purchase agreement, your negotiations and stuff. So I'll show you how to create a particular template and associate the template into your purchasing transactions. And the second one is create a master contract. From the master contract, whenever there is a requirement, we will create a fulfillment line, and from the fulfillment line we create a purchase order or an agreement. So purchase orders and agreements getting created as and when required from a particular contract. So that is the second demo. So let's go with the terms library here. So I'm navigating to terms library. Now, remember, procurement contracts is one of the sub modules within enterprise contracts. Okay, so enterprise contracts is a master module. Within that, we have sales contracts, service contracts, project contracts, and procurement contracts. Okay, so we will be discussing the buy side of the contracts. Buy side of the contract means, so you're procuring something, so you're buying something. The intent is buy. Okay, you create a content with an intent of buy. Okay, so we'll discuss only the buy side of the contracts, not service contracts or sales contracts or project contracts. There are other contract modules available that will be discussed in the respective tracks. Okay, so here we'll start with the creation of a particular template. So before going into a template, so you can see there are different configurations. Create a clause, you can import clause, create a terms template, create a rule, question, variables, folder, section, numbering scheme, and all these configurations are there. Okay, so if I open this particular, if I go to any particular procurement module, for example, and if you go to purchase orders, and let's try to create a purchase order or just open an existing purchase order there. Okay, let me quickly open a purchase order. And from that particular purchase order, if you see, if you look at different terms and conditions, okay, this is a different one. So let me quickly create a new one, create an order here, create a purchase order here. So I'll create with the Lee suppliers and click on create. So I'm creating a simple purchase order. And when you create a purchase order, you will have an option to add contract terms. So this is the contract terms tab. So if you're implementing contract terms, okay, if you're implementing procurement contracts, you can use this contract terms tab. Otherwise, the only way you can associate your contract terms is through attachments, okay, or you can attach under notes and attachments in the header of the purchase order, or you can also include them in your purchase order print in the BI publisher template. At the end of the template, you can put your all your terms and conditions. Okay, those are static methods. Now dynamically, if you want to add some contract terms, so click on add contract terms here, and typically you will find yeah, the terms template. So you can find a template of a template here. This is the template we're going to create. You can search for certain templates. Okay, purchase order terms template, click on OK. There are a lot of templates are there. We can pick and choose from the template. So how to create these templates is what I'm going to show you. So if I pick a particular template and click on OK, then we can see different options here. Okay, so here you can see there are a lot of options are there. This is what we're going to discuss. So this particular contract terms template contain a lot of clauses. This is an agreement clause, this is a price clause, this is a changes clause, warranty clause, inspection clause, product recall, okay, substitution clauses, termination clauses. Likewise, multiple clauses are there. If you are going for a HCM, HR kind of contract, for example, employee contracts, you'll find employee related clauses. A clause is nothing but a simple description, okay, a specific textual content describing what your conditions or terms related to this particular agreement. Okay, so these are all the different clauses. This is an agreement clause, this is the price clause, this is the changes clause. You can import clauses from an external system. So if you have hundreds of clauses and you want to import clauses, we have FBDI templates to import clauses into the system. Now you can group clauses into different folder structures. So you can create a folder structure, okay, like a terms and conditions. Under that, you can group different clauses, and you can also have different alternative clauses. If this is one clause insurance, if you see this particular icon means there is an alternative clause also available. So there are 3 or 4 clauses available, and I can pick and choose the relevant clause for my document. Okay, so these are all standard clauses. I may not be able to edit them. If I want to edit, I will edit it. It will go for deviation approvals. It will automatically show me this is a standard clause. If I download this and edit it using MS Word, I'll show you how to download into Word document and edit it online. But it will show you that certain clauses are edited and it will go for deviation approvals. Okay, and at the same time, you can also generate variables. Like if you have any variables, you can run that particular variables and the system will ask certain questions. So you can ask a question: is subcontracting allowed? If you say yes, then additional clauses will be added. Are you dealing with hazardous material? If I say yes, additional clauses will be added. Okay, so a lot of questions can be posted. Based on the questions, multiple clauses will be automatically added to your template. And along with the clauses, you can also define your deliverables. Deliverable is nothing but a kind of a proof of work or kind of a document you're expecting from a supplier. Okay, if the supplier is providing certain services, you want say that, okay, provide me the status of your service. Every weekly report, submit a particular document, current status of your work. If you're providing me certain products, give me some warranty related information. Okay, submit the warranty details, submit the insurance details. Right, so those become your deliverables. You can create your deliverables. It can be a one time deliverable, it can be a recurring deliverable, and you can put some date effectivity when you want them to be submitted and all of that. Okay, so you can associate deliverables to your contracts also. Will create deliverables to your to terms template. If you have any documents like attachments and stuff like that, you can associate the documents here. Right, so coming to the clauses, again, these are all the different clauses here. You can go to actions, you can add a section, you can edit a section, you can change the numbering scheme, like 1.1, 1.2, like you want a dot a, capital letter A, small letter A, the numbering sequences can be changed and all of that. Okay, now this is what a terms template is. Okay, and if you see the arrow, this is typically your this is where you run simple contract terms, and you can run it, and if any variables are there, it will show, and you can kind of uh, respond to those variables. And you can also download the contracts here. You can, once you edit in Microsoft Word, you can upload the contract. The system will automatically compare the differences. Okay, so that's how you can quickly review the contract terms. So how to create this particular template is what I want to show you now. Okay, now that we have understood what exactly is a contract terms template, we will see how to create a particular contract terms template. So go to contract management, go to terms library. Okay, from the contract management, from the terms library here, expand the taskbar. Okay, just a minute, let me see. What is the maximum number of attachment in contracts? There is no specific limitation on the number of attachments. We can group them as internal attachments, external attachments. I'll show you that as well. um, so you can associate any number of attachments there. What is a master contract field at PO header level? If you have an attached contract terms here, we'll talk about it later. Once I create a master contract, then we'll discuss about that. I assume that purchasing contracts require a separate license from the core procurement application. It's part of the procurement subscription. Yes, under enterprise contracts, if you subscribe to enterprise contracts, you can implement any of these contract modules. Yeah, these all things are under enterprise contracts subscription. Okay, just a moment. Okay, just give me a minute. So we will start with the configuration. Can these be linked to purchase agreements? Yes. The contract terms template can be associated to BPA, CPA. It can be associated to your negotiations, purchase orders. Okay. All these documents you can associate. Okay. So what I will do, the first thing is you can look into the numbering scheme. So if I click on the numbering scheme here, okay. So you can create a numbering scheme here. For example, North America workshop numbering scheme. Okay. North America workshop numbering scheme. Control C, number the clauses, description, and you can add the levels here. Means how you want the numbering of the clauses to happen, like 1, 2, 3, and you can put a next level here. After that, you want ABC, or the initial levels would be capital ABC, and after that, the clauses should be 1, 2, 3. Likewise, if you're adding multiple levels, what would be the numbering sequence? If you want to concatenate certain characters, you can also put some characters, and you can preview the numbering scheme here. Okay, you can quickly preview it. First level A, second level is number one, the next level is B, and within B the second level is number one. If you have another level, then it will be number 2, 3, like that, right? So that is how numbering schemes can be associated. Okay, this is the numbering scheme which will be typically used within your contracts. Okay, you can create your own numbering scheme here. Similarly, you can create your own sections. Okay, you can group into multiple sections here. uh, Section 1, section 2, like that, North America workshop. So you can create multiple sections and include your clauses within those sections. Okay, and you can logically group them into different folders also. The folders can contain sections, the sections will contain the clauses. Okay, so this is how you structure your different clauses here. Now you can create a clause. So typically the first thing is you can create a clause here. The okay, click on create a clause. When you create a clause, the clause is created in context of a business unit. Okay, the clause is created here like a US1 business unit, and you can make it global also. If you are creating in one business unit, and you can say it is a global clause so that it is available for all business unit. Okay, so you can put the demo procurement introduction. Okay, so this is like a number here, North America workshop 345. Okay, this is the title, and here you can specify the intent. The intent is you want to buy. If it is sell, then these are sales contracts. So if you want to use it in order management sales contracts, you select the intent as sell. Okay, the type is you can classify your clauses, like these are introduction clauses, inspection clauses, performance clauses, supplementary clauses. These are simple general terms clauses and all of that. You can put it under a particular section here. There are a lot of sections created. You can create a section, or you can put it under a default section. You can put a date effectivity. You can make it protected so that nobody else can change it. Provisioning, I want to use this clause only in negotiations. Okay, then you can select a provisioning option here. Okay, if it is a global clause, you can put a global clause here. So I'll save this particular clause here, and the clause contains the text. Okay, you can import the text here, or you can just paste your text and format the text content. So for example, if I go to and select for a procurement clause, introduction clause, sample clause, right? So a lot of kind of if you have a lot of clauses here, so you can pick up a particular clause. Okay, so procurement process clause, multiple clauses are there. So your customer will be having a bunch of clauses, okay, created, already used, so that you can use those different clauses here. Okay, so you can bring up your textual content, whatever textual content you can. If you want, you can bring up your textual content here. Okay, now once you have the textual content, you can go to instructions. Okay, instructions is like you can specify what this clause is about. Okay, you can specify from where you got this particular clause. If you have any reference material, reference sources, how to use this clause, or how to kind of work on this particular clause, you can put it under instructions here, and you can save. And once it is saved, you can see the related clauses. Related clauses is something like you can specify whether a particular clause is in relation with another clause. It can be an alternate clause. For example, you have two different clauses, two different introductions, and you can pick and choose what introduction clause you want to use. Two insurance clauses or five insurance clauses, you can pick and choose what insurance clause you want to use, right? So that is alternative clause. And incompatible clause, like if you are using this particular clause, you cannot have another clause. That is the incompatible clause, right? So you can build up alternate clauses or incompatible clauses into your different options here. You can also put it under particular folder section. Like if you have created folders, you can include your clause into a particular folder here. Okay, click on save, and you can submit it. Okay, and then this particular clause will be submitted for approval. Okay, so a lot of clauses will be there, hundreds of clauses will be there. You can have versioning of the clauses, and you can see now North America workshop clause 1. Okay, under recent clauses, North America workshop introduction clause is there, demo procurement introduction. It is submitted for approvals here. Okay, we will approve it in some time. If you see under submitted for approval, you can see the clauses available for adoption, and the clauses submitted for approvals also. You can see the clauses here. Today we have submitted it for approval, right? So likewise, you can have hundreds of clauses. You can import all the clauses, or you can simply create those clauses in the system. So typically, if you have a legal department, like there is a legal department, centralized legal department, who are coming up or building these clauses. So your HR legal team will create those HR clauses for employee recruitment. Your procurement team will create your procurement clauses for your for the creation of agreements or negotiations, purchase orders with your suppliers. Your sales order legal team will create your own sales order contracts. Your service teams will create your warranties, extended warranties, okay, and service agreements, right? So lot of typically global customers will have a centralized team which will be implementing these contracts, enterprise contracts. Within the enterprise contracts, there are sub modules, and accordingly you can build these clauses here. Okay, once the clauses are there, then what you can do, you can group the clauses into a particular terms template. Okay, a terms template is a group of clauses. Okay, you have to build all those clauses into the terms template. And you can also create certain rules and questions. Okay, question is like you can ask a question and you can generate a rule. For example, I can simply click on a question like a North America workshop. Okay, subcontracting allowed? Okay, subcontracting allowed? Okay, so this is the question we are asking the user. Okay, this is the prompt. Intent is again in the buy side of the contract. Okay, yes or no, or you can, if you have any kind of list of value or any choice list you want to create, you can build that choice list, create a value set and select the value here. Okay, click on yes or no. Okay, so I'll just ask a question: subcontracting is allowed? So that is one question. Similarly, are you dealing with restriction of hazardous substances? Okay, are you dealing with North America workshop? I'm just putting an identifier. Are you dealing with uh, restriction of hazardous substances? Right, right. So if I put a prompt again, I'll put a by intent, and I'll select yes or no. So a couple of questions, I can create those questions here. Okay, so those are your questions here. Once you create a question, right, and you can create a terms template. So the terms template is a group of multiple clauses here, right? So this terms template is again created in context of a business unit. So create a particular business unit here, North America workshop demo terms template, and 20th March 2024. Right, intent is buy. Okay, I want to use it in procurement, and here you can put a date effectivity. Currently it is a status of draft. Now there are two types here, simplified and structured. If I put simplified here, I have to provide some attachments. So if I have some Word document with all terms and conditions, I'll select simplified and I'll just simply upload that particular attachment of terms and conditions. But if it is structured, then I can create my clauses here. So I want this to be structured here. Okay, I'll put some description, introduction, and I select a layout for template printing. Okay, so these are the different BI publisher layouts. What template I want to use it for printing, I'll select the language as well. Okay, and enable manual refresh. Okay, uh, allow background upload. It's like while uploading, downloading and uploading, you want background options. Okay, all of those things. Contract control in downloaded contract. Okay, I'll enable this so that when we edit it, we will have some options. So I'll simply save it. Once we save it, all the rest of the things will be enabled for us. I'm just creating a simple terms template. Okay, now the remaining tabs are enabled for me. I will enable contract expert. Okay, so this is like a simple engine. So I showed you, right? I clicked on the arrow or a small button, then it gave me, it will pop up the questions. So the expert will check, contract expert will check if any questions are there. Based on my response, automatically the different clauses will be added. Okay, and I can select what is the default section. Okay, default section can be simple general terms. Okay, and all of those details, and save it. Now this particular template, where I would like to use, I would like to use this particular template in my purchase orders. Okay, so I'll select standard purchase order. Okay, and if I want to default the template for my purchase order, I can default it. If I want to use it under multiple document types, for my purchase order, for my blanket purchase agreement and my contract purchase agreement, right? So I can select them also. So if you want your template to be visible when you create a purchase order, make sure you select the document type here. Okay, if you want your the template to be visible for a BPA, CPA, or a negotiation like RFI, RFQ, and different agreements here, right? Okay, contract purchase agreement, all the master service agreement, then you have to select the respective document type. Okay, if it is not visible for you, that means the document type is not selected for that particular terms template. Okay, now here you have to come to the clauses. Here the clause is completely blank. You have to build everything from scratch. Okay, you have to create a particular section here. You can choose from library. You can create it like a new option, like you want to create a new section. This is like a introduction section here. Okay, I can alignment to the left. I can put skip the numbering and all. Likewise, I can keep adding multiple sections here. Okay, add one more section here. For example, I can search from after or before. From the library, I want to pick up some sections. Okay, so there is deliverable section, right? Click on OK. Similarly, I'll add a few sections here like that. I'll add a section here. I'll add it from uh, general terms, commitments, contract definitions. Okay, delivery of goods section. Okay, and one more section here, termination. You can create your own sections. This is the North America section we created, North America section 1. Likewise, you can pick up your own sections here, or just you can, whatever section you want, you can add it here. So let me pick up the section we have created. So likewise, you can create multiple sections like your terms and conditions, your insurance section, your subcontracting section, your kind of any other section, simple terms and conditions, delivery of goods. If you are having quality control, okay, inspection section. So multiple sections can be created. So each section now contain a clause. So you can create a clause directly, or you can add the clause under that particular section. So I will add the clause here and I'll search for multiple clauses. Okay, so there are a lot of clauses are there. Again, the clauses is like we have created different clauses, right? So you can pick up that particular clause. So this is like procurement general clause. Click on OK here. I will add that particular general clause. Okay, so under this you'll have a general clause. Similarly, under my new section, I will add my clause here, North America workshop clause. demo procurement workshop clause here, apply. Okay. And similarly, delivery of goods, I will add some clauses. Okay, like a product specifications clause. Okay, shipment and delivery schedules, apply. Okay, and I will add one more clause under deliverables. Okay, prices and payments. Just give me a minute, please. I'll just add it and save it, and save this. And if I click on expand all below, you can see all of them. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Just a minute, please. Okay, sorry. So we can look into all the different clauses here, expand all below. And refresh this. So you can see the different, all the different clauses here. Okay, so these are all the different clauses. Okay, based on the clause selection. You just have to make sure that you're using the same formatting. I just copied and pasted it here so that we'll see a different format. Maybe you can go back and edit and check the formatting there. Okay, so likewise, if you want, you can add your own sections and all. Click on save, and you can also insert conditional clause. So conditional clause is we want to create a rule, right? Okay, so we'll create a rule. We will save and close, and we'll come back to this particular template. So we'll create a rule here, create a rule, and this particular rule is says uh, North America workshop conditional, okay, rule for subcontracting, right? Intent is by intent. Now you can write your conditions. What are your conditions? You can match every condition or match any condition. So I'll write my condition here. We have created a question, right? So I can select my question here. What is my question? North America workshop. Are you say subcontracting is allowed? Okay. And this is the question. When the user says he is equal to yes, if the user says yes, okay, then I go to results and I'll add a clause. Okay. And this is subcontracting. Okay. Or let me check for subcontracting. Any subcontracting clause is there? Okay. So let's say we'll include some clause. Okay, let me put this particular additional conditions. Okay. So if the user says if subcontracting is allowed, okay, then automatically I want to add 5 clauses or 10 clauses related to subcontracting. Okay, so I can pick and choose that particular subcontracting. Okay, so this is the additional condition clause here, right? So we can copy it and save it. And what we can do, we can go and select, I want to use it in a all terms template, I want to use this rule in all terms template, or in a specific terms template. We have created a specific terms template, right? So I want to use it in my terms template here. Okay, not in every terms template here, in my terms template. So this is the description. I will save it, and I'll activate it. So this will be submitted for approval again. So a couple of things are submitted for approval. One is a rule, and the second one is uh, a specific clause, and the rule is there, and we have terms template is also there. Okay, let me check the recent terms template, that is North America workshop terms template. And if I go to the terms template now you can see here, go to the clauses, you'll see the clauses, go to the rules. Under the rules, you'll see that particular rule. Okay, rule for subcontracting. If subcontracting is allowed, I will have a particular clause added here. Okay, I can go to translations also. Okay, if you want, you can open the rule directly. Once it is saved, you can open the particular rule. Okay, so in that particular rule, whatever clause is there, right, you have to make sure that clause is added here. Okay, so I'll just pick up the clause, whatever is there in the rule. Okay, so go to the North America rule for subcontracting. So additional conditions is the particular clause, right? Right. And I'll go to this particular template, and I will add it as a conditional clause. Go to clauses here, and I'll add insert a conditional clause. Okay. And what is the conditional clause? Okay. So this is the additional conditions. If you see here, the additional condition clause is my conditional clause. If I go to the details, I can see the textual content, what this clause contains. Okay, I can click on OK here. So the contract expert will generate up this question. When the question I say yes, the conditional clause will be displayed in the introduction section. Otherwise, the conditional clause will not be displayed for you. Okay, so you can see the different, all the different additional under terms and conditions, you'll find the additional conditions. Okay, otherwise this one will not be displayed. If you see the icon here, this is a conditional clause, only displayed whenever the user selects a specific option, right? So that is about the clauses. That's how you build your terms template. And go to the deliverables. I can create a deliverable here. For example, I want them to provide scope of work, or provide an insurance document, provide some specific attachment, or any other kind of invoice, okay, of a particular item, right? So I can say North America workshop scope of work. I'm expecting the supplier to submit some scope of work. Okay, it can be deliverable, can be from an internal team, or can be for a contractual scope of work. Okay, it is for the supplier also. Okay, so internal party contact is Kelvin Roth is responsible for it. Okay, so I'll select Kelvin Roth as the internal person who is responsible for it. Requester is also Kelvin Roth. Okay, and this is the scope of work. Put some comments, and it is a one-time deliverable or repeating deliverable. I want the scope of work to be submitted on every Monday. Okay, then I can put a date effectivity from this day to this day. Okay, I want it to be repeated deliverable. Okay, frequency every week. On Monday, I want this to be submitted. Okay, or else it is a one-time deliverable. I can say submit it on a particular date. Okay, so before the due date, before 2 days on the due date, I want to generate a notification. If the status is changed, I want to generate the notification. If nothing is updated, okay, I want to escalate after 2 days. Okay, if the supplier did not provide me the scope of work, I will escalate and select an escalation contact. Like I will escalate to some person called Anderson, Betty Anderson, right? So that's how you can create deliverables here. Likewise, you can create 5 deliverables, 10 deliverables, any number of document. You can create all the deliverables here. Okay, you can create, see the rules. The rules are available. If it is available, if you want to translate in multi languages, okay, you can do the translations and stuff. You can save it. Okay, if you want, you can validate it. If any errors are there, it will check and it will throw validation errors. Okay, you can't submit a template for approval with clause that are on hold pending approval or rejected. Okay, this is not approved. North America workshop demo. This clause is not approved. So first we will go to approvals and we will approve that particular clause. So typically for approvals again, procurement contract approvals, I have selected only one user as an approver. Okay, so what I'll do, that is Kyle Hutchins. Okay, as per the approval configurations, similar to requisition approvals, purchase order approvals, we have the approval contract for approvals for procurement contracts also. And in my instance, I've selected only one user as the approver, that is Kyle Hutchins. Okay, so I log in as Kyle Hutchins here and click on sign in. Okay, and I should get a notification for approving of the clause. So we have submitted a clause for approval. First of all, we'll approve that particular clause. Okay, I can see that a clause in North America workshop introduction clause is submitted 15 minutes ago. So this particular clause, I can open it and I can see the content of the particular clause. So this is the clause and these are all the content attachments and the approvals. Currently, simple approval stage, Kyle Hutchins is the only approver. Other actions are also available and I'll simply approve this particular clause. Okay, once this clause is approved, now I can submit my terms template because I'm using a particular template in my clause. Now this is approved here. So if I go back and click on retry to validate it one more time, then this error should be gone. Click on done, click on save here and validate it now. Okay, no errors are there. Right now I can submit it for approval. Okay, I'll submit this particular template for approval now. So no warnings or errors are there. Click on submit. If I get any warning or error, you can see the resolution also here. Okay, why it is generating a warning or an error, and accordingly you can see. So it is pending approval. I should get an approval to Kyle Hutchins now. So I'll just wait for a minute. For the template also, I have selected the same user. So procurement contract approvals can be done in BPM. Procurement clause approvals, procurement template approvals, and all of that. Okay, so it will take a minute or so. Meanwhile, let me select how to set up translations. You have to enable multiple languages in your instance. For example, when your customer is subscribing for a particular instance, right? So you'll get multiple instances, a production instance, a dev instance, and all of that. At the same time, you also have to support for a language support. Then accordingly, the language patches will be applied. Then you can go for translations. Those approvals are configurable. Yes, the approvals are configurable, like as we discussed in requisition approvals, purchase order approvals. Same in BPM, you can go for clause approvals, and the template approvals. You can configure them. You can have employee, supervisor hierarchy, position hierarchy, approval groups, and all of that. Conditionally, you can have different approvals that can qualify. Can the qualifications questions be used in the clauses? No, qualification question is completely different. Supplier qualification is different. Your contracts is different. Okay. Supplier qualification is you will ask a question and the supplier will respond to it. Okay. So you may pose a question to the supplier will respond. Okay. Based on the current status of the organization, whatever information they're having. That is not a clause. Clause is like a kind of a descriptive content which you want to embed into your agreements. Okay, like these are the terms and conditions, employee related clauses, purchasing related clauses, and all of that. So in your procurement transactions, you can include those terms and conditions. Once added, can the sections be moved back and forth? Yes, you can do that. Okay, let me show you that. If you go to the clauses here, currently I submitted for approval, but if you go to action, you can increase the indent or decrease the indent. Those options will be available. Increasing the indent, decreasing the indent. I can just drag and drop this clause into this section. I can drag this six section into another section, so we can have a hierarchy of sections. Okay, I can drag and drop, and all those functionalities are there. Yes, you can edit it. So let me see if I get an approval here. It's taking time. Is it submitted? Let me see, it is pending approval. Let me save and close. Yes, it is currently submitted for approvals. Terms templates. So the clause is approved. Okay, few minutes ago, the template is yet to be approved. So I'm just waiting for the notification. Come on. Okay. Let me take few questions. What is the value set setup? Where is the value set? You have to create value sets. You can use default value sets, or you can create a custom value set. Like when you create a DFF, right? Within a DFF, the attribute values can be a set of values. These can be standard value sets or your custom defined value sets. Manage value sets. If you go to the task, you can create your own value set and put the desired values into the value set. Where can we see how the BI publisher templates look like? In BI, like if you go to Oracle Transaction Business Intelligence, OTBI, okay, Business Intelligence Administration, you'll find the templates. In our technical session, they'll talk about that. They'll show how to create those terms, templates, and all of that. Okay, so for example, if you go tools, like if you go to reports and analytics, right? So this is the technical topic, how to create an OTBI report. Click on browse catalog. This will take you to BI administration. And here you'll find all the bunch of OTBI standard reports, and you can create any number of custom OTBI reports with simple drag and drop. Okay, you can create all the different reports here. You can find the shared folders, what are all the reports available. And if you go to the respective module like procurement, under procurement, you have different modules, purchasing, sourcing. Okay, for example, in supplier qualification, sourcing related transaction analysis samples. These are all the OTBI reports, standard reports. You can create your own reports. If you go to the data model, you'll find the data models. So above this particular data model, you have BA publisher templates, right? So you have to go to the custom version of it, and you can find the particular template and edit that particular template, right? So that is again discussed in, you can create a dashboard, you can create an OTBI report, you can go to home, create a simple OTBI report using different functionalities here. Okay, these are different reports here. Just simply click on analysis, and using a subject area, we can create those reports here without any technical coding. You can simply create a number of OTBI reports with simple drag and drop. You can have analytics also, but this is discussed in a technical session, so I'm not going to discuss more about this now. Okay, so let me come back. Is it possible to create new types? New types, no, there are standard types here. uh, so the intent, if you're referring to the intent type, buy or sell. Okay, if it is you're buying it or selling it. Okay, if that is the type you're referring to, no, those are standard ones. If the classifications, you can create a number of classifications. The classification is user defined classification. You can create your own. Can folders be searched? Yes, you can search. Create folders is an option. You can go and search for folders also. Can you please demo the word impact import feature? Yeah, I will show you the import feature also. I'll go and select a particular template. I'll download in Word document. I'll show you how to edit in Word document by connecting to the application. We'll correct the some of the clauses. We've uploaded back. The system will show you the deviations. All of the things I'll show you. Approval for contracts are in BPM, not in approval management. Yes, they're in BPM only. Okay. How to import contract from MS Word? So I'll show you that. Just give me a minute. Okay. So let me pause here. I'm just waiting for the approval notification. It is taking time. Okay. Just got it now. Approval for this turn template is available now. Okay. I should approve it. Okay. You can see the terms template and all of that. Okay. And click on approve. Right. So now my terms template is approved. So if I go here, go to the home screen. So go to contract management, terms library. Okay, expand the different details. So my demo terms template is now approved. It should be approved now. Okay, it is approved. Fine. If once it is approved, now I go to my document, like I have enabled it for blanket purchase agreement and a purchase order, right? So I'll go and create a purchase order and I'll try to associate my terms conditions here. Okay, go and create a purchase order here. Lease suppliers, create this particular purchase order, and I go to contract terms, add contract terms. So here you can select North America workshop, my contract terms here. Okay, and click on OK. And OK, so this will be applicable now. This will be added here, right? So this is how, if I want to view, expand all below, or view, expand all, everything, I want to expand everything, you can see all the details. Okay, now here you can see the deliverables. We have added one deliverable, scope of work is there. Documents, you can add all the attachments like contract documents. Simply click on plus icon. You can give reference URLs, you can upload text documents, you can upload any files, URLs, and all of that. You can categorize them and choose the file. Okay, you can upload your contract documents, upload your supporting documents also. Okay, any supporting documents you want to upload, all the documents can be uploaded here. Okay, visible for the employees and the suppliers as well. So this is one option here. Now if you want, you can edit this particular section and all of that. Okay, for example, you want to edit this, or you can modify it, you can all the things. I'll show how to modify in Word document. Okay, any variables are there? Variables is like, instead of hard coding the text, insurance amount can be a variable, close date can be a variable. So I'll just enter that particular variable. If my text content contains any variable, it will show these variables are there, put value to this particular variable. Okay, so there is contract export. Now I'll run the contract export. So it will check for any questions. We have associated one question, right? Likewise, there can be 10 questions. Okay, we have created one question. Is subcontracting allowed? I'll say yes. Then I'll click on next. When I say yes, then the system shows you have to add this particular clause. So this particular additional conditions clause, currently it is not displayed. Okay, because it is conditional clause. Okay, so this is you can review the details of the particular clause here, and I click on finish. So based on my the user selection, okay, now the user selected it, now the conditional clause is added to my details. Now if I refresh it now all the clause data will be reflected. Okay, so I can see the entire textual content, and the conditional clause, additional conditions is also reflected here. Okay, and I'll save this one, right? Once I save this, now this particular template, you can make sure that nobody edits it. Okay, you can you don't want to give any option to edit it, because this can be centralized control. So while creating the template itself, you can make it as logged. Okay, so nobody can edit it. But if you give like you can discuss with the supplier and you can edit it further. In such scenarios, you can go to terms and conditions. Okay, uh, then you can download the contract, and there is also a small plugin for MS Word. The plugin is also available here. So you have to first download this plugin, install the plugin, and in the Word document you'll find the plugin installed there. Okay, so the first thing is you can download the contract and log the contract terms. Means nobody should edit your contract terms. So first I'll download the contract. Okay, so Word document or rich text format, whatever format you want to log the contract terms until my upload. Until I upload it back, nobody should edit it. Okay, so I download this particular contract here, and this will be downloaded into Word document here. Okay, so I will save it under desktop. I'll create a new folder. Okay, under this folder with the purchase order number versioning 1_0 version 0, I downloaded a particular Word document. I open that particular Word document here, right? So let me copy the password, right? So once I open this particular document, okay, enable editing. And as I said, you have to install a plugin. Once you install a plugin, you see Oracle contracts here in the Word document. Okay, okay, this Oracle contracts is there. Now I want to connect this particular Word document to the application. Okay, so I'll click on sign in. Make sure that you're using the same user credentials, right? So that you have the same access what you have in the application. Okay, so I will use Kelvin Roth and password. Click on sign in. Now this Word document will be connected. Oops. Contract administrator, no. I want to sign in. Kelvin.Roth. Copy the password. Hmm, you cannot proceed as you're not signed into Oracle contracts. Why it is not signing? What is the user I'm using? It is Kelvin Roth. Yes, let me reopen this document one more time. So it will connect to the application. Click Oracle contracts and select sign in here. Kelvin.Roth. Why it is erroring out? Yeah, it is copying the password right. Fine. It's fine. We will keep as it is. We'll see why it is not working out. So what you can do, you can go to review of this particular one, and you can click on restrict editing. And if you're kind of restricting the editing, and you can unrestrict it in the Word document. Okay, you can say track changes, or if you want to any restrictions are there. Okay, in the editing there. Okay, you want to document is protected, you can unprotect that particular document, right? So you go to and create a section. For example, here you can you can create a introduction. Let's say this is updated. Okay, similarly there are some, this is a new section. I can create a section here, add a section here. Sorry. Now once I add a section here, what happens is if I am logged into the application, I can search for the clauses and sections whatever I have created in the system. Okay, for some reason I'm not able to connect this document to the application. It used to work seamlessly. I just have to maybe reinstall the contracts plugin. I'll try it later. But you can search for the section you have created, search for the clauses you have created, you can review the content, and you can simply add those details here. Okay, or this is like a sample section and sample text. Okay, and I'll save it. I'll maybe I have to reinstall it. Go to terms and conditions, download add-in plugin here. Let me download the plugin. If it asks me to restart the system, then I wouldn't do it. But if it is not restarting the system, like I'll just click on the setup here. So this is how you install the plugin directly from here. Download it is a zip document. You can click on the setup.exe and it will install. And so because another version is currently installed, cannot be upgraded for this location. Okay, I already have the installed one, so this is not the issue. If you have not installed it, then it will definitely install it on your laptop. Okay, let me try one more time. Hmm. Kelvin.Roth. Okay, No, there is an issue with this. So you can try in your environment. So what is like, you can search for the clauses here. They will be displayed. Like if you want to add a clause, the clause will be, you can search for the clauses. Whatever clause you have created, like 1,000 clauses, 1,500 clauses, all clauses will be visible here. You can drag and drop into your Word document. Okay. So currently I'm not able to demo that because this signing is not happening. It used to work. I'm not sure why it didn't happen now, but you can edit the document, or you can send this document to the supplier. The supplier can go through all the terms and conditions if they want to change something. For example, they're not happy with this particular thing. They want to delete this one. Okay. And you can save it. So they will send it back to you. So you'll go to review it, accept all changes. Okay. Accept all the changes here and click on save. Okay. I'll remove this, save it, and close it. Once you edit it or modify it and add new clauses and all of that, the supplier also added some content here. I'll go back to my MS Word document. I'll upload that particular document now. Upload the contracts here. Click on yes. So whatever contract, the terms template we have downloaded earlier, I'll click on choose the file and select that particular template. If you want to change the title, like this is version 2, version 3, if you're doing it multiple times, the update, you can put a title to each and every update there. Click on OK. So the system will read through the entire document for you. It will scan through the updated document. It will compare. Okay. This. Okay. Let me reopen this. Review. Accept all changes. And if it is restricted editing, if this protection is enabled, okay, you can enable protection. If it is not, you can disable protection here. Okay, no protection is enabled, so this should work for me. Save it. Let me go to the Word document, the same purchase order 164898. Try to upload the file. Okay. Wow, there is an issue. Maybe there is an issue with the instance today, because there is nothing much. I'm just trying to upload, but it is not uploading. Okay. If not, I have to try in another instance. Okay, it is uploaded now. I just unchecked that particular box while uploading the contracts. I don't want to structure terms automatically there. Okay. Once it is uploaded, review the contract deviations. Okay. Any clause deviations. Just upload the contracts. Just give me a minute. Upload the contract. with the changes done in the Microsoft document structure term. The contract is uploaded as the document. Okay. Save it. Okay. Review contract deviations. It should show me the deviations. Okay. Not sure why the deviations are not showing. So there is an issue in this instance, I believe. Just give me a minute. I'll show you. This used to work. I just tested last week. Go to deployments. I'll try in another instance and I'll show you that. I hope this works. Come on, go to deployments here. I'll open another instance. Okay, like a dev2, right? Open dev2 here. Just bear with me for a few minutes. I'm trying the demo in another instance here. So this is dev2. I'll open the application, sign out, confirm, right? So this is dev2. Go to the login screen. So I log into my user Kelvin Roth. Click on sign in. So I'll try to create a new purchase order and will associate some template there. Go to procurement, purchase orders. Okay, so create a purchase order here. Create an order here. Okay, so this is Lee suppliers. Click on create. Okay, come on. Save this. Go to contract terms and add contract terms. Here we won't find our terms template, but I'll take some other template here just to showcase the demo. So I'll pick up some template here. So there is a purchase order template. Click on OK. Click on OK here. So my terms template is added, will be added. Ah, come on. Okay. There are no variables. Okay. And so I'll download the contracts here. Okay. Download in RTF or Word, anything is fine. Just download it. Click on save. Or let me download in Word document only. Yes. Download this. and I'll save this under new folder. So 164486. Okay, this is the Word document, and let me open this now. 164486. This is the one. Okay, just we downloaded now. Okay, double click on it, and enable editing. Hope the issue is not with my Word document. Oracle contracts, click on sign in. Kelvin.roth, click on sign in. Ah, this is with my Word document only. The issue is with my Word. I just have to uninstall this. I have to reinstall the plugin. Okay. Sometimes if it errors out, that's the one of the easiest solution. Sometimes I have to restart the system also. So I'm not able to use this plugin here properly, but I'll just do an update here. Update of a clause. Okay. I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you can put some text content here. Save it. Review this. Okay. No restrictions are there. Okay. Make sure you accept those changes. Accept all changes and save it. Okay. Once you edit, likewise you can edit it and save it. So I'll go back and upload the document here. Upload the contract terms, the terms template. 164486. Okay. Click on OK. Okay. So you can see the detail. These are the things that are all the terms and conditions, whatever is changed. Okay. So the agreement is changed, warranty is changed because I changed the numbering sequence. The displacement is changed, and you can see the view change details. For example, if you see the change details, okay. So this is the comparison clause. This is the new clause. This is the current clause. Okay. So nothing is changed. We just modified a little bit of the space constraint and stuff like that. So it is showing as changed here. So whatever you change in the original document, it will show all the details like that. Okay. So once you're happy with those changes, you can accept all the changes or you can reject the changes. So if I accept all the changes will be applicable onto my document here. And if I go and save it and refresh now, you see whatever changes I have created, it will be reflected here based on the numbering sequences. Okay, the numbering sequence is changed. That's why it is showing all these things are changed here. Okay, so that's how you can simply whatever you modify it, all things can be the system will do a mapping and it will show exactly what is changed. If you're happy with those changes, you can accept those changes or reject those changes. If any deviations are there from a standard clause, okay, I have not edited any clause. If I've edited a standard clause, then those thing deviations will be sent for approvals. Okay, so if you see this is a non-standard clause. Okay, for warranty, okay, these are some clauses which are non-standard clauses, right? So likewise, you can upload that particular contract terms and you can review the contract deviations here. And if a clause is added here, and meanwhile my original clause is updated, then you can check for clause updates. A new version of the clause is there, then my document can uptake the latest version. Okay. So if I added the insurance clause is updated for some reason, then I can modify that particular clause there. Okay. So that's how you can update the clauses and review the changes from Word document. So if you face the similar issue in your instance, do we reach out to Oracle support? Yes. Typically, it's like if you restart the system and re-upload the plugin, it will kind of resolve that particular issue, because I never faced this issue. To be honest with you, I have done it like 100 times. This is the first time I'm seeing like I'm unable to log in into that particular plugin. Okay. But yeah, if any such issues are there, definitely you have to create an SR and work with Oracle support. Okay, they'll just ask you to uninstall that particular plugin and reinstall. You have to download the latest plugin from here. From the instance only you'll get it, and reinstall it and restart the system. Then it should accept those changes here. While importing the modified dot, should the file naming be same? No, you can change it, or you can keep the thing as it is, and while uploading also, you can change it here. You can put a title like a different name, like version 1 and version 2, and put a description also. Okay, you can update the naming convention also. Okay, and can changes be individually accepted or changed or rejected when the upload is completed? Yes. Certain changes can be accepted. You can accept all changes or reject all changes, or individually you can go through each change and accept those changes. Is it possible to import a contract in MS Word and that was not downloaded from Oracle, a document that the user using day by day? Is it possible to import a contract in MS Word that was not downloaded from Oracle? Uh, See, there are two ways here. Either you can create these terms template everything in the system, or you can download the contract and upload the contract, right? So for uploading the contract, you can select terms template. If you have your own attachment document, means you don't want to follow the structure within the system, you don't have these clauses, but you have a document with all your terms and conditions on your local desktop, okay, or within the laptop, you can upload the document also. It's not like you can download this and you can upload this. You may not want to use this completely. You can simply attach the document. Okay, I can remove this particular terms template here, remove the contract terms, everything will be removed from here, right? So now everything is blank. I'll add the contract terms here. Okay, you can put a template, and you can select a template if you want, or if you have a document there, okay, you have to go to attachments and attach, but put attachments as the contract terms, attachments, and attach your terms and conditions here. Okay, that is one thing. While creating the terms template also, if you remember, while creating the terms template, there are two options. If I click on add contract terms, okay, while creating the terms template, if I show you that, one is structured and one is the attachment. Okay, so the terms templates can also be a simple attachment. I'll show you that. Okay, if I go to contract terms, contract management, go to terms library, create a terms template here, expand the taskbar, create a terms template. The type of the terms template here is, okay, create a terms template. You can see it is structured and simplified. Structured means, let me save it, US1 demo terms template. Structured means the clauses will be there. You have to create the folder structure, put the clauses, put the numbering sequences, conditional clauses. You can put your rules based on the response to the rules. Automatically clauses will be added, conditional clauses will be added, and all of that. That is structured. You have to create your structure here. You can put your deliverables and all of that. Okay, if it is simplified, if I say simplified, then it is asking me to update the document. So what I will do, I'll save it. Okay, now uh, I don't have any much options here. Okay, I just have to put it under document type, and I'll update this particular document, browse the file, and if you have some terms and conditions, okay, some predefined terms and conditions in a Word document, upload the document. Okay, you select that particular file here and the document will be uploaded. So this is a simplified terms template, not the clauses. You may not want to use the clauses. Okay, if you have your own terms and conditions, you see that you cannot add the clauses here because it is simplified document here. It is a template. You can download the template. It will be a blank template. Okay, for example, it is a blank template, and within this template now you can add your all your terms and conditions. Okay, so predefined terms and conditions, and once you fill all your terms and conditions, and you can send it back. So this is a simple document here. Create your terms template content here, just copy paste it and upload it, or if you have a document, you can upload the document also, anything is fine. Okay, that is the difference. So you can have a simplified one or a structured one. Non-standard clause, if you modify something, then that is a non-standard clause. Okay, so this is simplified one, I think. When the terms and conditions are simplified with the terms and conditions transferred to the contract module, no, it is considered as an attachment only. These will not be created as clauses. If you want, you have to create them as individual clauses in the system. Okay, the system doesn't know how to break your Word document, like how many clauses they want to create, how many sections, how the naming convention and all of that. You have to upload those clauses. Fresh page should do the trick. Maybe sometimes that means your page is stale. Okay, I tried in another instance also in a different browser. For that reason, I did not use the Chrome. I tried in another instance, but I'm facing the same issue. So I believe the issue is with the plugin in my Word document. Okay, are the variables added in the manage lookup? There are certain standard variables. Okay, certain standard lookups are there. If you want your custom lookups, you have to create your own lookups. In case of multiple revisions, is it possible to track back what changes on a particular revision? Yes, all revisions will be available for you for review. The documents. The error is showed because there is more than one tab of the same instance. Yeah, might be. Supplier can see this contract type and all information for consulting and supplier portal. Yes, they can review that. Then they can also respond. They can update the document and we can send the document, and we can upload and see what changes are done by the supplier also. If section is created in the terms, and does it get saved in the library for future? I did not try that. I'm not sure. If you create a section in the terms library, will it be available? I think it should be. Once you create it, it should be available. Yeah, because the section is not specific to a particular template. This is a generic kind of an object. It should be available if you are creating within that. But to be honest with you, I did not write. Can the clause types be customized? Clause types. Let me see what are the clause types. Create a clause type. Yeah, these are custom. These are like user defined values. I'll show you the configurations. Okay, later there are some configurations. Difference between contract module and purchasing agreement. See, purchasing contract module is, now you can see, can we do all of this in simple agreement? No. An agreement is between you and the supplier. Okay. For example, if it is a blanket purchase agreement, you have an agreement with a particular supplier over a period of time with a specific agreed amounts and specific products and services. Now, what are the terms and conditions? You want to add it as an attachment. Those are simple terms and conditions. But if you want to use procurement contracts, you'll find these contract terms templates with all these bells and whistles. The functionalities are available for you. That is the basic difference. So this is like an advanced functionality of adding contracts to your documents. Okay, where your contracts are getting created from a centralized location and utilized in the respective modules. Can you use a global clause in another BU? What is the best practice for centralized BU? Define it as a global and create for a specific BU. Yeah. See, typically you can associate a clause in one, create a clause in one BU, and if you want to use it across all BUs, it can be like an introduction. Introduction is like common across all BUs. You want to reuse them, make it global. Maybe you want to use it or don't want to use it. Okay, you have 10 introduction clauses. Okay, they can pick and choose what introduction clause they want to use in their template. Okay, if you want it to be available for your own BU, like in the introduction you are specifying the business unit name. Business unit can be a variable also. If you put it as a variable, the clause can be used anywhere. But if you want to hard code the text and the clause is specific to your own business unit, then make sure it is a local clause, not a global clause. Okay, that is the difference there. How to add this help pop-up? Help pop-up. Where exactly you're referring to this help pop-up? You can customize your help content also. Okay, there is standard help. If you want, you can, for example, this is a help here. Wherever you see the question mark, you can manage the help content. There is a, you can like add your help content, additional help, customize the help content. This is a predefined help content available within the application. So if I want to add like a help specific to your own customer, then you can add the particular content here. Put a title, created, what is the status, language, and or create a new one or add a new one here. Okay. If you go to the user also, you'll find manage help under the user. Hide help icons, then icons will not be displayed. Otherwise, you can go to applications help, then the entire help content will be available. You can customize the help content. If a simplified type is used with the word formats be maintained, example tabs, character formats such as size, letter, type, bolds, etc. Yes, whatever format you specify in the Word document, it will be available for you. It will be attached as a document itself if it is simplified. Whatever document you're putting, it is treated as an attachment only. Okay. If you're using as a terms template, okay, then it will be checking all the conditions, how you defined the clause, all of them then will be picked up from your definition of each and every attribute. In previous screen, there was a comment for cross reference variable from clauses. Cross references, you can have references between two different clauses. Okay, related clauses, you can create references between two, this one, right? I have to check this particular option. I don't know. You can put it in the forum. I'll see exactly what is the field of what is the identifies the location of this clause in terms and conditions. Insert the variable into other clauses that must cross reference to this clause. Okay. Okay, you have to create a variable. So if you put that variable for against each of the clause, like for example, you have to create a variable here. So based on the definition here, just create a variable here. And if you insert that variable in multiple clauses, so wherever that variable is associated, all the clauses needs to be included in your template. Okay. Referencing the variable is referencing across different templates. Again, I'm not sure of the exact use case of it. I have to look into it in a much detailed fashion. What is provision checkbox? Provision checkbox is something uh, you want to use that clause in your sourcing module. Okay, for example, when you create a clause, right? If you click on provision, so if you see, restrict the use of provision clause in Oracle Fusion sourcing. So the clause can be used only in negotiations. So in negotiations also, yesterday we have seen, you can associate a terms template, right? So whatever clause you want to include in the terms template of a negotiation, make sure that it is enabled as provision. Okay. Protected means this particular clause cannot be edited. Means if I add it to a purchase order, I cannot edit it. Means any editing happens should happen in the clause only. So again, it will go for approvals, versioning will change and all of that. So the protected will determine if a clause can be edited or not. If it is edited, editable clause, then if somebody is modifying, that becomes a non-standard clause. Okay. Or the comment just that is popping up. Or these are tool tips. So if I select anything, if I select a particular one, whatever comments that are popping up, these are tool tips. You can create the tool tips also. Can you show how to create a variable, use it in the template? I just have to create a variable here. Okay, create a question, you can create a constant, you can create a variable, put a name, intent where exactly you want to use by intent. Okay, the source of this particular variable is you can put get the variable from a descriptive flex field. Okay, from a contract header. If you are implementing flex fields from your contracts, you can get the details. Or if you're manually using a particular variable, okay, you can pick up a value set. These are all the standard value sets or custom value sets. You can create your own value set. Okay, if you're using Java strings and tables, then you can bring from Java scripts also. Again, this is like again custom options here, customizations, but typically you can use value sets or manually or descriptive flex field. It is just bringing a value, that's it. Fine. So let's pause here. I want to show you a second demo, that is go to contracts and create a contracts module. This is a master contract management. Now earlier we created a template and used the template into our purchasing documents like a purchase order, blanket purchase agreement, contract purchase agreement, negotiations and all of that, right? Now here we can create a contract directly. So I can create a contract here. Okay, click on create a contract and I'll select the type here. Okay. So the buy side of the contracts, there are employee contracts, service contracts, sell side of the contracts, and all the different contracts are there. So this is enterprise contracts module. So you see a lot of setups. Okay. Most of them are not related to procurement contracts. Okay. But the buy side of the contracts are available here. Agreement lines, if you want to use this contract to create blanket purchase agreements. If it is a purchase order, if it is a no lines, then it is like a contract purchase agreement. Project lines, if you want to create a BPA with reference of a, or PO with reference of a project. Okay, so let's, if I select lines here, type means I want to create a procurement contract for a purchase order. Okay, only lines. So there are different intents are there. I want to create a procurement contract for creating an agreement if it is agreement lines. Okay, so that is the difference. You can put a number here like a North America workshop contract 1 2 3 4 5. Primary party. So I'm entering into contract with lease suppliers. Okay, this contract is valid for let's say 1 year, right? Currency is this. Item master, if you want to use items from your item master, you can select the item master, or you can simply select it as a description category based items, non-catalog items, you can ignore that. Okay, if you're maintaining items, select your item master. You can pull those items into your organization. Okay, so the authoring party, like who created the contract? Internal means we created the contract. External means the supplier created the contract. Okay, so internal authoring party. So our organization created this contract. The US business unit is creating this contract, right? Save and close. Now a contract is getting created, right? A lot of tabs are there. Now within the I can have a master contract and build a relationship also, so that child contracts can be also seen here. So this is the name of the contract, North America workshop demo contract 345. Okay, and let me put a description to it, version description, item master. Okay, risk is medium, and you can select payment terms. Okay, net 30 payment terms, carrier is like a DHL carrier, freight terms is like a prepaid, FOB terms is origin. Okay, click on save. So basic information about the contract is there. I go to the lines tab. So the contract is for procuring what products and services. So you can click on the plus icon here, the line number 1. So this is item. If it is item, you can retrieve the item from your master organization. I've not selected the master organization. That's why it is giving an error. If you want to retrieve the items from your master organization, go to the overview tab. Okay, select your master org. That is your 000 organization. If I select my master org, then I can add the lines. Okay, for line number 1. Now I can select my item here and what item. So if you have created any item, for example, yesterday we have created an item, right? In my organization, let me see. This is the item I want to pull into the contract. Okay. Oh, this is dev 2. Sorry, this is a different instance. Uh, okay, you can pick up any item here and click on OK. So my contract is for this particular item and click on OK, right? So you can simply select an item and other details and all of that. You can pick an item and inventory item. Now I'll delete this one because I don't know the assignment of this item, whether this item is assigned to my child organizations and all of that. It might throw an error if it is not assigned to the organization. So I'll just simply delete it. But I just want to show you, if you want to add, you can select your inventory organization and you can add those details. So I'll just add an item with a free form. Okay. Free form means it is not an inventory item. It is a simply with a description and a category. So I want to procure laptops. Let's say Dell laptop. Okay. I could have selected this particular item. So what happens is, if the item is not assigned to a particular child organization where I want to deliver it, it will throw an error. Okay, which I don't want to happen. So here you see, I want this item to be delivered, let's by March 30th. Okay. Here the ship to organization you have to specify. If it is not assigned to my ship to organization, then it will create an error there. That is the reason I did not add here. Seattle, I want to deliver it to Seattle here, Seattle organization. And the bill to location is also Seattle. Let me see. And purchasing category, this is like miscellaneous computer supplies. Okay. Unit of measure is each, let's say 100. Line quantity is like 5 quantities I want, right? So lease suppliers and supplier information. So this is one item. Likewise, if you have 10 items, you can upload all the different 10 items here. Okay. And you can save it. Once the items are saved, I'm just selecting one item here. Okay. Now I go to the contract terms. So I just selected I want this item. Now here also I can add my terms template. If you're implementing procurement contracts, within the terms template, if you have created, you can add your contract terms template here, right? So you can search for your terms template. So all your terms and conditions can be added to your original contract also. Okay. Facilities, let's say this is simplified. This is also sourcing. Let's say facility service agreement. Click on OK. So my terms and conditions will be added to it. There is a variable. So I'll search for the variable. What is this variable? Insurance amount. Let's say $100,000 is my insurance amount. Okay. And the contract expert will run. It will check any variables are there, pending variables. I've added all the variable information. No questions are there. I can see the clause where exactly the variable is used. So there is an insurance clause here. So whatever insurance amount is a variable. Okay, so this is a variable. I entered the value. So it is defaulted into that wherever I'm using the variable. So next here, any other answering of questions is there? Is subcontracting or assignment allowed? Yes. Accordingly, I can review suggested clauses. There is a suggested clause is there. Couple of suggestion clauses are there. I'll click on finish. Fine. So those will be added to me and I save it and I refresh. So the data, all the clauses will be displaying the content here. Fine. Once that is done, if you want, you can quickly validate it. If anything is missing, it will show an error. Okay. You have to fill in a lot of details again. I just selected validation too early, but click on done. Currently no validations are there. Okay, go to fulfillment here. We will come back to fulfillment later. Once the contract is approved, go to the parties. So the contract is between these parties, between my business unit and Kelvin Roth is the uh, user. If you want to add more people, I can add more people here, and I can select the lease suppliers organizations. Okay. Similarly, ship to organization, ship to locations. If you want, you can select Seattle. Ship to location is also Seattle. Okay. Bill to location also, if you want, you can add bill to location. Currently, I'm selecting same values here. Okay. And go to the supplier organization now. Lee suppliers is the contact. I will add a supplier contact here, and he's the supplier contact, and that is Ryan Lee would be my contact here. I can search for all the supplier contacts, and there are different supplier contacts are there. So I'll pick up Ryan Lee here. Okay, would be my supplier contact. If you want to add more people, I can add more people. So this is the agreement is between these two parties, my business unit and my supplier. Any deliverables are there? If you want to add deliverables, you can add deliverables here. Any documents, you can upload the documents. Again, contract documents uploaded, supporting documents can be uploaded. Multiple revisions are there. Then you can see all the revision documents here. You can share the documents for internal team members. So certain documents can be viewed by your internal teams, and these are the documents that can be shared by the external supplier. Okay, so whatever you share internally will not be visible to the supplier. So you can control what documents are visible internally, what documents are shared externally under shared documents. Rest of the things are available for you. Okay, so this is like a grouping or classification of your documents. You can see the history information like what happened on this particular contract. Okay, so all the different when it is created and all the details. Currently it is a draft mode, and go to the notes section. If you want, you can add more notes. Simply like you are creating this particular contract, you've created multiple meetings, you want to add minutes of meeting to your notes. Okay, you can create that types. Is a simple setup here. You can create a new type, or it is a private notes visible to only my username. Okay, only to the particular author or something like that, and you can paste the minutes of meeting, or multiple notes can be added here, and click on save and submit this particular contract. Okay, so this particular contract, I want to save and submit it for approval. Once I submit it for approval, it will do validations. Okay. If I can see the approvers, I can review the approvers here. Click on OK here. If you want to put a note to any of the approvers, you can review the notes. Let me see the approver. This is the contract name. It is generating the approvers based on the configuration. Here also, it should be for Kyle Hitch. Kyle Hitchens should be the approver here, but quickly check. So let me, okay, Kyle Hutchins is the approver here. Okay, I'll submit it. Fine. So I will log out from here, and I'll approve as Kyle Hutchins, and I will come back. Okay, this is save and close. I'll log out from here. Confirm. Kyle Hutchins. Update. I'm yet to get the notification. I'll just wait for the approval notification. Okay. Meanwhile, let me take few questions. Can you demo the setup and configuration required? I'll quickly show that once the demo part is done. Can you explain deliverables once again? So deliverable is something like you are expecting the supplier to provide certain actions or activities or documents. Okay, for example, you are procuring certain laptops. So you want the supplier to provide the insurance for that particular laptop, or the warranty information for each and every laptop. So that will become a deliverable. So warranty is one deliverable. So the supplier will upload the warranty information for all the laptops. Similarly, if you're expecting certain services, so you want certain services to be given by a supplier. So you want the status of the services. You want to create a weekly report. Okay, for the first 1 week, it is a complex service procurement, for example. They're doing some work and you want a weekly report. Like every week, they'll submit a particular report. What is the current status of the work that is going on? So that can be deliverable. So deliverable can be a document you're expecting, or it can be a scope of work you're expecting. Okay, this is like an update you should get from the supplier. Okay, can add more than one supplier under parties? No, the contract is between you and the party and it should be unique. Subcontracting, that is completely different. Okay, you can have multiple different contracts and you can link between those contracts like parent child, but a contract is between you and a particular party. Inventory and PIM subsidy needed, or it is common. Inventory is only needed if you want to do inventory transactions. PIM is needed only if you want to define items and if you want to have advanced functionalities like item approvals, item EFFs, okay, item imports, and all of the securities and all of that, right? We discussed in PIM. So there is a workshop in PIM where we discuss all of these things. If you're not using PIM, still you can go ahead and create items and use those items. Just defining of the items, PIM is available in shared mode, but not advanced functionalities like item rules will not be available, item approvals will not be available, EFFs will not be available, templates will not be available. Okay, basic item creation is supported. Okay, concept of the role third party for the parties of the contract. Third party is nothing but your supplier. Can I put a PO for a third part from the procurement? Does it need to be a spend authorized supplier? Typically, yes. For only sourcing, you can invite a prospective and a spend authorized supplier, because a prospective supplier, if an award is given to a prospective supplier, we can convert them into a spend authorized. Then you can create a document like a purchase order or an agreement. Other than that, contracts and purchase orders and purchase agreements needs to be created or can be created only for spend authorized suppliers. Okay, so let me see if I got an approval. Okay, okay, I got the approval here. I'm just approving this now. Okay, click on approve directly. Once it is approved, I'll log out from here and I'll log in and go to the contract quickly. So we have a contract, right, between the buying organization and the supplier. So I go to contract management, and once the contract is there, let's say next week or 1 month down the line, we have a requirement to procure laptops. Okay, now we have a contract with a particular supplier. Now what we do, we go to that particular contract. I'll open the contract there. Whenever there is a requirement for this laptop, okay, so the contract is for this particular laptop. Typically I've given 5 laptops, it can be 500 laptops. So whenever there is a requirement for employees in a particular department, they'll create a request there. Then you can come here and create a fulfillment line. So you go to actions, auto create fulfillment line or manually create a fulfillment line. So what this does, it will create a fulfillment line for the desired quantity here. For the entire quantity, you can update the quantity later. A fulfillment line is where you want to release this line. So the supplier, a PO will be created, okay, from a contract. So a fulfillment line is created. Now, how many quantity I want? I just want one quantity, one laptop to be delivered. And this particular laptop to be delivered, let's say on July 1st. I can put whatever date I want, and you can see other details, right? In the purchasing application, now it is integrating with purchasing application. If you want, you can build integration with other applications also, e-business suite, JD AdWords. Okay, I'm selecting a buyer. Okay, so the Roth Kelvin Roth here. Kelvin Roth, right? So this is my buyer. Requester, whoever is the employee who is requesting for this particular laptop, you can put it. For example, I'm just putting the same username, Kelvin Roth only is the requester for this one. Other details are fine. Okay. Other details are defaulted from the fulfillment line here. Now, 5 quantities are eligible for release. I want only one quantity. Maybe 2 months down the line, I want another one quantity. So whenever there is a requirement, we'll create a fulfillment line. Okay, and click on save. Once I create a fulfillment line here, you see the quantity is updated to 1. Okay, and it is incomplete status. I'll go to actions. I'll create a purchase order. Okay, so based on this fulfillment line, a purchase order will be created and the integration will happen into Fusion purchasing. Okay, on or before need by date. Okay, I've selected a need by date. So let me edit it. It is just a warning. It is PO creation in progress. Okay. If you want to create another fulfillment line, just duplicate it and change the quantity there. Okay. So it just wait for some time. Meanwhile, you can generate notifications. So if you want, you can create a notification saying that when the document is created or before the due date, when the fulfillment is complete or when the PO is created, I want to generate a notification to the buyer. So Kelvin Roth will get a notification. Likewise, 10 or 20 notifications, I simply create multiple notifications. Okay. So Kelvin Roth will be notified when the purchase order is created automatically. And you can see the purchasing activity. Currently, no purchase order details are there, but once it creates a purchase order, we can see the details here. Okay, just refresh this. PO creation is in progress. I'll just wait for a moment and it will also create a purchase order. Because if you see the overview of this particular contract, this is by lines. Okay, if it is by agreement lines, okay, then it will create a blanket purchase agreement from a contract. By project related lines, then it will create a PO with reference to a project. So based on the type, the documents will be created from the fulfillment line. Okay. So meanwhile, let me open the configurations for setup. Okay, I'll show you this. The refresh, it is still in progress. It will create a purchase order and you can see the purchase order displayed here. Okay. Meanwhile, let me show you a couple of configurations. Go to the implementation user and FSM, like a PRC implementation user. And go to FSM here, functional setup manager, setup and maintenance, right? And go to procurement contracts. Okay, go to all tasks. Now, if you want to create approval groups or manage task configurations for a CRM relation, contracts is part of customer relationship management, procurement contracts, that is enterprise contracts. So if you go to this, it will take you to BPM. Within BPM, you have to write your different rules. Okay, you can search for the contracts approvals and you can find the rules there. So typically here contract clause types. This is one of the important setup here. So you can see the clause types here. When we created the clauses, right, somebody asked whether we can create different clause types classification. That is just a user defined field. So you can create a number of clause classifications here, and while you're creating the clauses you can select that particular type. So it is a lookup here. Okay. Similarly, contract manage business unit function for your, whenever you're creating a contract for a particular BU. Okay, under a particular BU there are certain configurations. So for every BU there are contract management configurations are there. So select your BU here. Okay, for example you can select any BU. Let me search for US BU here, and you apply that particular BU. Then you can see certain configurations here, right? So this particular BU, this can be considered as a global business unit, or then the global icon will be available for you when creating the clauses. Okay, clause numbering is manual or automatic. Okay, you can specify that. Enable contract expert in this particular BU. What are the layouts for printing? These are BI publisher layouts. Who is the administrator for your terms library? Okay, so these configurations can be done here at a BU level. And once this is done, okay, and that is about procurement contracts here. And we have another setup, that is enterprise contracts. Enterprise contracts is a common configuration. Okay, for every sales contract, service contracts, employee contracts, all contracts, procurement contracts is part of enterprise contracts only. So you have to go to the respective contracts. If it is service contract, sales contracts, procurement contracts, go to procurement contracts here. Now here you'll find the remaining configurations. Okay, these are the contract line types. Okay, so here you can create multiple line types here. So you can create a line type. For example, as I said, specify a line type here, and these are predefined sources. Okay, item by agreement. Okay, so this is item by means purchase order. Item by agreements means purchase agreement. Okay, free form by means without any item in your item master, with a simple category and a description. Non-catalog item, you want to create a purchase order, like we did it, right? Free from by agreement, free from project based details. Similarly for sell agreements also. Okay, sell agreements is for order management. Okay, subscription and warranty is for sales service agreements. So these are all the different contract types. Okay, so you can create the contract types, and those contract types can be used while creating the actual contracts. Okay, some of the business function configurations also are available here. And in enterprise contract base, okay, in the base you can find some of the configurations here. Contract note types. Okay, whenever creating notes, what are the different types available here? This is this different note types are available here. Okay, most of the lookups are there. Contract party roles. So what are the roles available? Okay, it's like a customer, employee, internal party, so third party. You just specify it's a naming convention. It's just a lookup value there, and you can specify and you can use the naming convention accordingly. These are user defined naming conventions. You may call them as a partner, you may call them as a supplier or a third party or an internal party. Internal party means internal collaboration team member, right? So based on the naming convention you want to use, you can enable that particular list there. Okay, these are easy user defined contract role. And again, hold reasons, cancellation reasons. If you're holding a contract, you can put the reasons there. If you're canceling the contract, what reasons? So these are all the different reasons. You can write your own value sets there, values into the particular lookup value, right? And contract statuses and transitions, user statuses and transitions. Okay, for example, I want to send it for a legal review. I want to then these are all the different options will be available in my contract. If I open my contract, I can send it for a legal review. For example, if I can show you that PO is created, you see the purchase order created, right? If I reopen this one, let me save and close. Okay, reopen the contract now. Go to fulfillment lines. Okay, go to the purchase order. Now you see under purchasing activity also you can see the purchase order here. So the purchase order is created and the purchase order is expecting us to deliver this particular item with this particular base price. Okay, and by this particular supplier. Okay, so that's how you can automatically create a purchase order or a purchase agreement directly from a contract. Okay, and if you want you can actually it is already created and saved and approved. If I create a new contract here, for example, if I create a cancel this, create a new contract here, create a contract like the types, contract types we created, right? So you have to select that. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 contract number, lease suppliers, save and continue. And here you can send it for a legal review. Legal review means you have a legal team or a legal team member. I can select a username here or a particular role. Okay, you can assign a role here. I have to save it and you can select it. Then you can send a notification to the assignee also saying that can you review this particular contract, so before submitting for approval. Similarly, risk review, if you have a risk assessment team, you can send it for a risk assessment team also. And once you save it and you can send it for risk details, you can share this in supplier portal. So supplier can review this directly in supplier portal. You can save it as a template. Okay, contract wizard is like the same functionality, but with a guided navigation. I can create a contract with the train stops. Okay, like I'm creating everything in tabs here. I can create a contract in a wizard. Wizard is same functionality here. I can show you quickly. Lease suppliers. Okay, this is type. Contract type is agreement. For example, by agreement lines here. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 lease suppliers, and click on save and continue. And it will give you guided navigation, like select a template. Once you select a template, you go to variables. It will check the questions, you can upload the documents, review the contract. Okay, then once the contract, then you see the contract, you have to fill in all the details. Okay, it is just like a simple navigation. Before actually creating it, you can associate your terms, template, variables, questions, and upload any documents. Then you can then the particular window of the contract will open with multiple tabs, then you can fill it there. Okay, that is with the guided navigation. If you want to create, that is contact creation by wizard. Okay, so that is how you can create contract details. You can set document sequences, legal document sequence, and all of those details configurations can be set up here. Okay, how a child contract is created. If you open any contract, right, for example, if you open a contract in the relationship, you'll have create a contract. What is that type, right? Type is by lines. Okay, let me put it some other del dot. This is the supplier. Click on save and continue. And okay, okay. It should be enabled at the BU level. Actually, I think it is not enabled in this particular instance. I just have to go to setup and enable it and save it and come back. I'll show you in another instance at the BU level. You just have to enable like a parent-child relationship will be accepted or not. Then in the there will be a separate tab for relationship. I'll quickly show you that. Can requisition be generated in SSP? No. Directly creation of a uh, purchase order directly from your contract here. Typically, these kind of contracts is for organization to organization, business to business purchases. Okay, whenever your employees are procuring, then you will get a requirement of from an employee. But whenever you're procuring like 100 laptops or 500 laptops in bulk, Okay, then you create a contract with a particular supplier and say that every month you deliver me 100 laptops or 200 laptops or 500 laptops. Deliver these 500 laptops to this new department in this location, another 500 laptops to this department in another location. Okay, likewise, a business to business contract definitions can be defined, and that will be created